Dan Dresden is probably one of the most underrated characters in the AcceleRacers universe in my mind. He was cool like Kurt, but not cocky. Just some guy who happened to be a cool character. If there was anyone I would like to see in AcceleRacers from the world race, it would be Dan Dresden. But what if he actually was in AcceleRacers? Could Dan Dresden be a silencer? First of all, we know that Dan Dresden raced in the racing realms before Vert and co arrived in the Accelerdrome, and that he was lost within one of those realms. Somehow, somewhere, the silencers must have grabbed him up. But what if Dresden, and even Alec Wood, were lost in the realms on purpose? Now let me explain. We know that Gig has been the double agent for the silencers ever since the beginning, i.e. since the world race. We also know that Tesla sent its drivers into the racing realms specifically for his own purposes, i.e. probably to find Acceleron technology and the Accelerons themselves, while the silencers also needed drivers for their own intents. And where better to get those drivers than from the selection of those from the world race? And at that, grabbing those same drivers under the disguise of being lost within the realms. I certainly would not be suspicious that our lost drivers would be silencers, and I sure as heck know that Tesla would be the last to believe that, since he didn't even know that they were racing in the realms until the pipeline realm. Anyway, during the series, I've interpreted that Gig has always helped out the silencers within the realms. As soon as any of the drivers discover the realm's skill or solution to that realm, all of a sudden, the silencers do well within that realm. What happened in the Metro realm? Well, Kurt saw that they had to get on the freeway to finish the realm, and all of a sudden the silencers swoop in behind Taro and take the victory. As soon as drafting was discovered by Lani for Karma and Nolo, we see that the silencers also know that this specific skill is needed for the realm, again after our own drivers discover their skill. And finally, in the Junkyard realm, we see that Vert discovers that you have to hit the apex, and then all of a sudden we see that the silencers know that you have to hit the apex when dueling Kurt. What I'm trying to say that is Gig is basically relaying the information to the silencers, so what's to stop Gig from interfering with Dresden's car map and eye in the sky within one of these realms? From the selection of silencers, I believe that there are two possible silencers that Dresden could be. The first one is the silencer that drives AcceleRacers. Why do I say this? Well, if we look back at the world race, one of the most common things that happened to Dresden was that his car was flipped upside down. This happens during the ice part of the world race and during the battle of the drones. In AcceleRacers, it happens in the junk realm after he basically crashed his car. Now, if we know anything about AcceleRacers, this could be a callback to those times Dresden flipped his car from external entities in the world race. The next silencer I believe that could be Dresden is the driver of Anthracite. First of all, Anthracite is a very similar looking car to Slingshot. Now, why could this be? Well, Kurt Wilde is seen as the leader of Street Breed in the world race, and hence, Slingshot can be symbolically seen as the leadership car. However, as time goes on and Kurt is found out, Dresden steps into the leadership position, hence why his car, Side Draft, also looks somewhat similar to Slingshot. We also see that Dresden has a somewhat moral high ground over Kurt, which could be why Dresden builds his car in a somewhat upgraded fashion of Slingshots, since he didn't double cross anyone in the world race and he stepped up to being a leader and is also racing against drones for humanity. Anyway, what are your thoughts? Thanks for watching.